potion to get it?
When last we left our heroes, they had taken full advantage of having turned Neomachius and the majority of his retainers. Emma made creative use of the mold earth cantrip by sealing off the trapped hallway of the tomb once the undead had fled past it, granting some measure of security. Meanwhile, Felix, Natari, Xanthion, and the newcomer Titus picked off the two remaining turned knights huddling in the corner. Once the threat was stayed, most of the party examined the equipment in the room while Petra and Emma looted the two locked chests in the catacombs. While attempting to decipher the book placed next to the bizarre vessel on the dais, the newcomer introduced himself as Titus Nicholas Octavius III, a name that provoked a strong reaction from Felix, much to the party's chagrin. As tempers flared, again, the inter-party tension was cut by Xanthion's decision to stick his head in the stone vessel upon the dais, a decision that left the ranger otherwise indisposed for a time. While Emma tried to rouse Xanthion, Felix and Titus palavered, which could have gone better. After Xanthion came to his senses, our heroes set out to return to Sheridan, having uncovered the mysteries of the tomb of Neomachius and revealed more questions than answers in the process. The countryside is quiet as you emerge from the cave-like entrance to the tomb, the night sky overhead bathed in brilliant light from a moon on the cusp of full. The stars twinkle softly and a gentle breeze blows, the serenity of the scene a stark juxtaposition to the nightmares of the tomb you just emerged from. A cursory glance by Xanthion reveals no notable tracks by which to track the reanimated Neomachius and his two retainers who escaped. Dawn is a handful of hours away, and with it, a return to the road toward Bright Hollow with the caravan. Does the party set out toward Sheridan, or is there something else you would like to do?
How many hours journey is it to Sheridan? I forget. Is it 2?
From where you are right now, when you guys take a moment to examine the map, because somebody's job was to basically keep track of that shouldn't be playing. Somebody's job it was basically to keep track on the map as you guys were following Salome's tracks to this location. Best guess, glancing at the map and where you think you guys are, probably about 2.5 to 3 hours back to Sheridan.
I think Morlo needs a rest or some sort of healing because he's taken a beating and only 12 hit points.
Okay.
All right.
Anybody else want to take a rest?
I believe
We don't have time for a long
this
rest.
might work out. Octavius, whatever your first name was, Titus.
Titus.
They'll take a short rest, or they'll take a rest because little warlock here needs to regain some spell capability. Fighter needs to regain a little bit of health, and there's some magical goings on that we should probably take a look at before we leave. You seem to have hinted at a desire to do something. So,
Well, I was wanting to get rid of the teleport circle. That didn't work out. So I was curious if maybe we could take the dirt that the young child moved and put it over the teleport circle so that when someone teleports in on it, they're teleporting into dirt. Wouldn't that hurt them?
well, generally, if in that case,
Wouldn't
would
the
Felix
dirt just
know
fall
the
in?
basics? Wouldn't Felix just know the basics if you cover a teleport circle, you'd still be teleported to within the bounds of the circle, just shunted above the added earth?
Roll me an Arcana check because your passive Arcana isn't high enough for this.
I swear I thought you were going
That
to say a
roll's not gonna be
narcotics
great.
check.
So no, Felix goes, well, we need to take a look. It was going to be an 18, and then it's like 2.
Yeah, you're not 100% sure, especially because you just aren't advanced enough in your own studies to be able to master that kind of magic. But I mean, best that you know, covering a teleportation circle wouldn't undo it in any way.
So, yeah, I don't know if it would do much in the way of hurting someone. that kind of magic just tends to correct itself in ways I still am trying to figure out. But
Oh.
you spoke something of the contraption, so let's go see what we can do.
Well,
So you got
I just don't like the idea of leaving a tentacled cauldron, some sort of portal, sitting there in front of a teleport circle for the alleged lich that lives here. Come back and get it.
I can't blame your line of reasoning. So let's make our way in. Those who wish to rest, I mean, we'll be at the end of the tunnel, or we'll be at the end of the tomb. Stay together.
And just for the sake of argument, Shannon,
Yes.
I'm going to roll an Arcana to see if I know. But regardless, this is what that is how Titus plays all that.
all right.
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus, where was that roll for me?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it would at the most they would either teleport in on top of the dirt or would just be offset and shunted over to the first available space.
Even if it's even if the dirt covers the entire circle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. It would not that would not prevent teleportation into the circle.
Okay.
So the party's taking a short rest.
While they take a short rest, I guess me and him are doing light work, if that'll count. But re-examining everything inside.
Okay.
Petra, you're also a caster, and a short rest will. Well, you should be fully up to snuff health-wise. Would you mind lending your professional opinion on some things while we examine?
Oh my God, you want my opinion?
Yes.
Who told you my opinion was professional? But I mean, I'll take it. Hell yeah. Somebody wants my opinion on something, you guys. This is great. This has never happened to me before. Yeah, let's fucking go. This is a great day.
All right. So, shall we?
We shall. Petra skips ahead wherever we're going.
Okay.
Felix will be
Whatever
behind.
direction we're facing is the one she's going. It may be the wrong direction, though.
Do I have to roll for health points?
Yeah, if you are going
Is
to
it hit die?
Yep, if you're going to spend hit dice, you just roll d6s or sorry, d10s because you're a fighter. And
Yeah.
So are they going ahead while we short rest?
We're going back into the tomb.
so then
Okay.
that you rolled a 5 and then you would add whatever your constitution modifier is to that and then add
And
that
then-
hit points. And
Okay.
then you can just keep doing that as often as you want to burn hit dice. Just make sure you mark off the correct number of hit dice on your
Yeah,
character.
I think I've got 4. It's reloading.
Got it. Okay.
Cool.
So Isaac, to answer your question, I think the plan is that Felix and Titus and Petra are going back into the tomb.
Yeah. Okay.
So for the people who are having a short rest, are you doing it outside of the tomb? Or are you going back inside the tomb with the rest of the people who are checking that out?
Morlo is getting the hell out of the tomb
Okay. All right.
and going to lay up against that tree.
Got it. Okay.
Emma, yeah, I think Emma's gonna climb over here into this tree.
Okay.
Why is? Oh, it's dark out, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I'm actually gonna leave. I'm just gonna make a couple lights. So I'll just make light on the ground right here, and then go climb up in the tree.
Papa, I buy 2 tricycles.
Okay.
Papa,
Want to come say hi to Mr.
I
Ring?
buy this one.
All
Say hi
right.
to Mr. Ring?
I buy
So
that one.
with
So you just tell me when we're done with short resting.
so those of you who are going back into the tomb, where are you going to?
I'm going back to the green cauldron, and I'm really going to examine all the way around.
Felix is going to be investigating, just looking around the coffins. So,
All right. Christian, roll me an investigation check for Felix.
all right.
Petra's looking for more stuff to lift.
Wow, 6s tonight.
Wow, that's yeah.
RN random number generators, man. I fucking hate them.
And Petra, go ahead and roll me an investigation check since you are scouting for more stuff to loot. And then Titus, if you could please move your token back into the tomb so that I know where you're going. And then you said you're going to examine the dais and the vessel with the tentacles coming out of it.
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
All that versatility.
All right, so first things first, Felix, you are investigating the sarcophagi in the catacombs.
Yeah, just sort of seeing if there's any writings left by those who buried and whatnot.
The larger that your token is currently up against that has been opened rather than broken does have an inscription written in it, written on, like carved into the side, that bears the name of Neomachius and then just a few honorifics and dedications.
Okay.
Nothing noteworthy. General, here lies Neomachius, founder of the Neomachian Order. May his soul rest. Long live, long live the rightful king, Argia Mictus, and then just some decorative stone masonry work on it.
So the way that the histories are described, would it seem a little off that he died before the Hero King?
Yes. The phrase long live doesn't necessarily mean he was actually alive when that was written, though. I mean,
Right.
God save the king can mean any
Right.
king. So, yeah.
Uh,
It would seem bizarre. You're not seeing any dates, but yes, it would be bizarre if Neomachius died before Argia Mictus.
and there's no. That's weird. Okay. Can I roll to investigate the lining or the inside of the sarcophagus, or is that super easy?
What are you looking for?
Just any sort of marker that he might have been buried with, some sort of token that might have been laid to rest with him of historical importance.
The inside, and that's easy enough to do. The inside of the tomb or of the sarcophagus is bare. It is lined in white silk that is pristine. In fact, the entire sarcophagus is pristine, which wouldn't really necessarily be anything to weather away the stone or anything, but
the silk being around is a little weird.
It looks brand new, unsullied.
Can I see if I can sort of move the silk lining?
It does. It comes away. It's not attached into the stone in any way. It's just draped over the sides, and then the lid went over the top of that. And then on the other side of the silk is just bare stone.
Stone. Investigate for any sort of buttons or pressure plates that might denote a hidden chamber of some sort.
Okay. And then while you are doing that, go ahead and roll me another investigation check because you've been investigating several different things.
That is a 15 plus 2, 17.
17. You're fairly confident that this is just a simple stone sarcophagus. It does not appear to have any secret or hidden compartments, anything that would lead to anywhere else or anything like that. Looks pretty basic.
Okay.
Let's see here. Aaron, Petra is looking around for something else to pocket. And with the roll of an 8, is there anything in particular that you're looking for, or just anything of value?
Just general snoopage.
Okay. The place has been fairly well picked clean. You do just scrounging around, mostly back in the chamber, the first chamber of the tomb, where you guys had the first encounter with the Grimlocks. You do find an additional 5 silver pieces, but just kind of laying around scattered. Other than that, not much to be had, and it takes you a while to find those. And Titus, you re-enter this strange other newer chamber with the different stonework and the bizarre 10-foot square lines dividing up the room, and go back over to the dais, back toward the stone vessel, where all but one of the tentacles is still sitting there waving gently as if caught in some sort of current.
All but one?
Yeah, because Xanthion cut one off.
Okay. Is there anything attached to this thing? Or just what would it take to move it and or destroy the ceiling above it?
So
What?
all right,
Shannon,
so
the patience of a tired lion.
So it does not. It is made of a different stone. It is still a stone vessel, but it is made of a different stone than all of the rest of this room. To the best of your knowledge, as you examine it, it does not appear to be connected in any way to the dais that it rests on, and yet it will not budge. It is fixed in place. And as these little sparks of greenish blue energy just kind of, it feeds into and jumps from the lip of the vessel onto this strange, looks like probably copper piping, into this weird contraption that runs in a zigzag pattern and then down into the dais. And it gives a bizarre hum as energy is channeled from the vessel into this tubing, this metal wiring.
Is that these box things in the back?
That is this right here.
Yeah.
Is a series of looks like copper, about half an inch around, either solid or hollow pipes that go to a series of copper bases that are affixed into the stone of the dais, and then at the end of which the copper wiring or piping actually goes down into the dais itself, into the stone of that. As far as what it would take to move it, you're not sure exactly what's keeping it from moving in the first place, because it looks like something you should just be able to pick up. What it would take to bring the ceiling down on top of it, hard to say. This place looks structurally sound, so it would probably take quite a bit to cave this place in, but you could try.
Now, where the copper tubing goes into the dais, why would it be doing that?
Roll me an Arcana check. Whatever these sparks are, it does seem to be some sort of an energy source. And through studying science and the arcane, you know that metal conducts electricity. This could be providing some sort of a power source for whatever this chamber is intended to do.
Does it look like it can be unplugged?
Not really. Based on what you saw Xanthion do, it seems like this is just an open portal to somewhere, and that this portal is somehow bringing through some form of energy that is being used to power and sustain this place.
Like this building?
With your investigation and your arcana, and especially with your passive arcana, the magic circles that were being used to hold the shadows in place, those are not supposed to be permanent. Those are supposed to last for an hour when they're conjured. But you had seen that glow in this room the entire time you had been captive in here, not knowing what it was because you couldn't get a good look since they were on the far sides of the room from you. But once you realized what they were, there is no way that you're aware of that magic conjuration circles that are meant to bind and hold a creature captive should last that long. They're not a permanent effect, and it's not like a teleportation circle where you can cast it a certain number of times and give it a permanence. So it stands to reason that whatever power is being drawn from this vessel is allowing magic to work in ways that it isn't known to be the normal behavior of magic.
Okay, so it stands to reason that if I can interfere with these copper tubings, that magic will stop.
Yeah. Of course, all three of the magic circles now have been defiled because when the trap was sprung, it broke all three of the magic circles and freed the shadows, or it broke two of the three. One had already been defiled and raised the platform. So if this is doing anything else, you're not aware of it because it seems like all of the magical effects in this chamber have been undone.
I'm going to take another investigation look at the dais of where the power seems to be going.
Okay.
And see if there's a way to unplug it. Would it be best to do it with something wooden? Like kind of pry it out or something like that?
So are you actually seeing how firmly attached into the dais this is?
Yeah.
Okay.
The copper tubing.
Are you just doing it with your bare hand or what are you doing?
No, I'm going to take like do we know about electricity?
Yeah, there are several spells that elicit
Right.
an electrical effect.
I'm going to take part of my leather armor and wrap it in my hand, and then see if I can undo it.
Okay. So roll me a strength check. Because you're just wanting to see how firmly into this is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you reach forward and you grab and you pull a little bit, and it has some give to it. This could probably be ripped out.
I'm going to rip it out.
Okay. Roll me another strength check. Since you are now actually trying. Yep, it's. If you had some leverage, if you maybe used like a lever or something just to pry it, but just with your bare hands, you don't have the strength.
Is there a non-metal metal lever around here anywhere that I could use as a lever?
There's plenty of trees and shrubs right outside of the tomb.
Did Felix have a staff?
Yes, you did
Yeah,
see
Felix-
Felix carrying a staff.
Felix has a
I,
staff
I'm
with
gonna
him.
I'm gonna yell for Felix. Hey,
So
I need your staff.
Interesting.
Felix and Petra, and yeah, with as much stone as this is made of, everybody just kind of hears that echoing throughout the cave.
Would Felix notice the treasure chest being open?
You were
there any-
aware of those being opened while they were being opened. It made quite a racket.
Oh, that's right, the knock spell.
Yep.
Is there anything left in them, or are they completely cleaned out?
Completely cleaned out.
Felix is going to look back to Petra. We'll need to talk about payment.
For what?
We all cleared this dungeon. So
Oh,
whoever
well-
has,
Petra
whoever
are just
has-
gonna act
whoever
like there
has
was
the goal,
nothing in the
we
chest.
need to figure out how to divide that up evenly.
I agree, and you should be talking to the kid about that because she has all the money.
Okay.
Little gutter snipe. Yeah, little gutter snipe just took it all right from under my nose.
Petra
is
roll me a
damn
deception
shame.
check, and Felix roll me an insight check.
Jesus.
Can Titus get in on this somehow?
You're hearing the conversation. Roll me insight at disadvantage.
I'm not even gonna try it. I just don't believe pretty much anything she says in the first place. But
Right. Right.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Petra got it.
Okay. So yeah, and you guys have been, Felix, you have been called over to assist Titus. What are you doing?
going over.
All right.
Petra
And-
will follow.
Okay. Felix, roll me a perception check.
As I enter.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's see. We'll try and invoke. Oh, well, RN Jesus is being nice to me now. Sweet.
Yeah. Petra's doing a hell of a lot of jingling.
Her sachet.
Damn it.
So Felix is like, he just kind of listens to it, stone face. Then we start walking. Jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle.
Emma has all the gold.
Exactly.
He
Exactly.
turns-
Okay,
Get
but
anything.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. He's going to turn to Petra. He's going to kind of clutch both hands on the staff and just kind of lean over to it. He's like, listen, I know she has a bag of holding. I figured she probably has the majority of it. But we need to be fair. And plus, we also have someone who was just tortured for 3 days straight. So we should probably pay him a little bit extra as kind of a compensation for the crap he just had to go through.
Of course, of course.
Are
I
we
can hear you.
negotiating gold?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's
I
what you
mean,
hear them
to be
do in
fair,
this
though,
chamber.
I will say to be fair,
You-
most of
you-
the stuff
Oh,
that I'm
sorry.
carrying right now, I've stolen from other places and not from here.
Trust-
I do
trust
have a
me, though,
lot, and I do intend on sharing it with you.
I
But,
think you guys should. I think both of you should have a finder's fee. At
I
least.
thought all of you all worked for her.
Well,
Petra
I do,
and
honey.
the backups.
Can he-
Doesn't
can
she
he hear
pay
this?
you all?
can he hear this conversation or?
Oh yeah, you're
Okay,
in the room.
so it just reverberates regardless.
Like the acoustics in this place carry like crazy, because every square foot of this place, every square inch of this place is just carved stone. Whether it is the older, more ornate carved stone of the tomb itself, or whatever this area is that's carved with the bizarre checkerboard pattern. So yeah, the acoustics are just going all over the place.
Titus, no one works for anyone. We work together. We try to.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Dominique.
Were you sharing a bite of your cookie? Or what is that? Were you sharing? I took a bite out of it.
No bite. I want to message to you.
Well, we finish eating
Okay.
first, okay?
So,
Love you.
She's like
Yeah.
our mascot. I love it.
She is. We have adopted her as the mascot.
so Felix turns to Titus. We work for each other. We work as a group. We try to. Let me reiterate that. We try to. No one is anyone's boss, and we have not agreed upon the name Petra and the backups.
You're gonna want to have to stick to that in the next couple of weeks, though, because
Well,
we have a
yes.
gig as. Okay, sorry. I mean,
No.
Same.
That's perfectly fine. You took a
rehearsals are coming up.
You took a contract without telling us, so we'll have to talk about that too.
May I
Maybe
borrow
try-
your staff?
Mm.
Just walk
What-
over and like put
what
my
do you
hand on
need it
his
for?
staff and be like, "Can I borrow this, please?"
For what?
I'll use my staff for what you need.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, can we agree on payment later?
Yeah, yes, of course.
This is
we
getting
can.
steamy.
I
Yes.
know. Well, I
I mean,
need you to
I
put
wouldn't
your
say-
staff over here in
Can
this
I get a
in
word
this
out for
orifice.
God's sake? For God's sake. No, it's not steamy. It'd be the same if somebody walked up to you and tried plucking your loot out of your hands while you're playing it.
You want to
Oh,
hold
okay.
my loot? Here you go.
No, not you. I'm looking at Petra.
Oh,
You have a
Or-
loot too?
yes, I have a loot too.
No way.
So Felix starts walking
Whip it
over to
out.
the dais.
Oh my god.
Well,
Felix is honestly debating whether or not to dunk his head in to see if he's actually going mad or if it's
Yes.
all right. Start going over back to the cauldron and be like,
Hmm.
handing my loot to Petra, just kind of like, yes, it's really finely tuned.
Okay, so Felix, you walk up to the dais with your staff in hand
Mhm.
and do what?
Pointing
it?
with my fingers and being like, can you pry your staff in this spot right here?
this.
Yeah,
Right.
and then
He
pull in
points to
this
the-
direction.
Can
He
I figure
points-
out what he's wanting?
Yeah, he's basically gesturing to this metal pipework contraption that is on the other side of the vessel, and just kind of basically saying that he wants you to pry it out of place.
When
Petra says, I don't get why you're so focused on the dais. On the
And-
dais, on the dais, on the dais, on the dais. And that's how
Oh
the song
my
got invented.
God.
I've been holding that in for like 15 minutes, you guys. Okay.
It's
And-
Proud
canon.
of you.
Do I lose inspiration again? It's
and then
fine.
when I see he has it in the right spot to
Mhm.
perform the correct leverage, I'm just going to grab Petra and push in the direction it needs to go
Okay.
with no
Wait,
warning.
what?
With no warning.
I was. Wait, are you grabbing the staff?
Basically
Wait,
giving him a help action without even letting him know I'm giving him a help action.
Okay.
No, if I was to say Felix is going to put it in and go. Okay, you want to help?
Put it in. Are you going to help?
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, it takes two to tango, man.
Where you are positioned in front of the dais, you have to reach the staff over the vessel, and as you do, once again, these tentacles just kind of like grasp for it and like try to wrap around the staff. It just seems like these things are just attracted to anything that come near it.
Petra says, this better not awaken anything in me.
Too late. And you put the staff in place and go ahead and roll me an attack roll with your quarterstaff at advantage because you're being assisted.
Attack roll, you said?
We're just going to do this as if it was an attack.
Okay. Quarterstaff attack at advantage. So the first one is a 13.
Mhm.
And, oh, wow. The second one is an 18.
And
Oh,
that-
RNG's is being really nice to me now.
that'll be sufficient. So you're just using the edge of the dais as leverage and just kind of making it a fulcrum. You just, and the copper piping just pulls out of the dais.
Okay. Here, I'm going to move my token so it's over there so I can keep track.
Mhm.
Okay, so we put the staff into the bowl?
No, on the back. These
On the
On the
back.
back here.
Oh, It went over the bowl, so
Yep.
so the tentacles went up
Yep.
for it.
Like,
Okay.
reached
Okay.
around you. The tentacles wrapped themselves around your staff and then
Oh.
popped the copper piping out.
Now I'm going to just take a walk through the room, make sure nothing has changed or anything has stopped, and I think that'll be efficient because I don't think we still can't move the ball, right?
So as you're turning,
Oh boy.
you see a handful of places along the floor, just throughout the chamber, glow for a second in the shape of a sigil, whatever,
Thank you, Matt Mercer.
and just fade. And Felix, from your vantage point, you are relatively certain that this is also just other areas that were enchanted in the same way that what you stepped on as you were getting up onto the steps. So it seems like whatever energy was being drawn from this thing was also powering these enchanted arcane traps that were along the floor in a few different places, because they just flare up for a second and then go away, basically the same way they did when Felix stepped on them. So
Is there any pattern to them?
no, not really. There is one here on the other side of the teleportation circle. There is one here. There are some along the far side. There are some along each of the magic circles that were containing the shadows. It just looks like, from what you can tell, they were strategically placed to be wherever somebody who would be examining this room would be likely to step.
Ah, interesting. Well, I think we got the desired effect. Are the tentacles still there?
Yep.
So that thing is solid. That thing is solid stone, right?
The vessel itself is solid stone, but is not the same type of stone as the dais is made out of.
What's it look like?
Most of this looks like limestone. This actually looks more like maybe an amber, or like a petrified wood, maybe, or something that is just like a little bit more ornate, something that is a little bit more polished. It might be obsidian. It's hard to tell.
I'm gonna take my staff and whack the crystal onto it and kind of hear the resonation.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. I mean, it's not like a tuning bowl or anything like that. So you just hear the ring for a second, and it just kind of echoes throughout the stone of the chamber.
So you're a drummer.
Interesting.
I can work with that.
I've been told that I have a sense of rhythm.
Do you all think that the portal you have with you might be able to move this?
Does it look like it's on top of the tile, or does it look like it's coming out of the ground and it's anchored, basically?
It looks like it is just a bowl resting on the dais of a different construction. It looks like it should be able to move.
But the bowl can't move.
Yeah.
It is being held in place.
Yep.
I looked at Titus. I don't know. It seems like whatever.
Well, here's my thought. If we could get that table over there and move this thing onto the table, then we can get 4 people to carry this bowl out of here.
Okay, that's work though. And why are we doing that work?
Well, do you remember when you all first found me and the man that came through that circle there?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mhm.
he's
The one I was
here.
right about all along, right?
He was here because of this, pointing at the tentacle bowl. And it seems like a very potent magical item that is able to charge a room. So if we remove one of the key, whatever this is, from this room, then we have an advantage on him.
Ooh, and maybe we can use it for things. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's steal it.
I like the idea, but let's see first if we can move the entire contraption.
Well, my thought is that two people try to hoist it onto the table, and then four people carry the table back to where we're going.
Well, right. I'm saying let's see if we can at least tilt this stand or whatever it is, because it seems to be fairly solid. I don't know if it's held in place or if it's even movable in the first place.
Yeah, I'll
Can-
just go get everybody and tell them to come help.
Well, 1 second. Working together, Shannon, all three of us, can we at least see if we can lift it off of this dais?
I mean, you can always try. Yeah.
Would you all want to try to just see if it'll move right now?
Yes, let's try that before we
The-
get everybody down here.
The turtle
I mean,
looked
not
like he
really,
was tired.
but how many drinks are you gonna buy me if I do this?
What is the poison of choice?
I mean, I don't even need to know what it is. I just need to know how many, honey.
You're
I can
usually
can get you 30 glasses of water.
you
Okay.
last
No,
I
I'll
checked,
just go get. I'll go get Morlo.
last I checked, you seem to have not a desire, but
Last I checked,
for aqua
you didn't know
vitae,
anything
good
about that.
stuff. The good
Well,
stuff.
Yeah, we don't advertise that to people we just met. Gosh, what an amateur. All right, I'm going to get Morlo. You stop talking.
Nope.
It was a long shot, I know.
Christian,
Yes.
right about now, you would just, Felix would just probably be thinking to himself, the book that was laying beside the vessel
Mm-hmm.
stands to reason that if you can decipher that, you might end up being able to figure out something more about the vessel. It stands to reason in your mind.
Right. Felix is also a little hesitant because he doesn't want to unwittingly say a spell.
True,
And-
true that. And there is definitely a very complex arcane formula written somewhere in that. But yeah, a lot of it just looks to be written in Elvish.
So, Petra, actually, before you leave, I asked you to read the book, and because you can read or you understand deep speech, which deep speech is usually, or not deep speech, undercommon, and undercommon is usually written in Elvish, right?
No,
Or in
it's
the Elvish script.
it's deep speech. She speaks deep speech.
Oh, she speaks deep speech.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll just start reading a sentence of something that doesn't look like an arcane formula. Tell me, can you understand this? And I read.
Does Felix read Elvish?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
He speaks and reads.
Okay. So you pull out the book and you just open it up to a random page that looks not arcane and start reading. And it is all a bunch of gobbledygook. So you read it, what the sounds would be of these Elvish characters, but put together in a way that doesn't make any damn sense. And you're just kind of stumbling over it, feeling kind of silly, because it's like trying to read, like, the best I can describe it as is like if you're trying to read lorem ipsum text. It's like it's like almost real but not quite, so you just
It's almost real Latin, but it's very, very
yeah,
opposite.
exactly.
I'm
so
I'm gonna lean over his head,
Mhm.
be like, "So what are you reading?"
And then right at about this point, Petra, Felix is speaking deep speech very poorly.
Yeah, that's almost insulting.
But do you understand it?
Do I understand it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
What was I trying to say?
It sounded like some sort of a report, or just like an experimenter's log, just like today the subject exhibited signs of.
Oh, it's like the sicko's torture diary. I'm assuming you're in there. Do you want us to find the page, Titus?
I have an ability that'll allow us to read this.
How do you?
Understand language? It's actually,
Oh, comprehend language.
it's as a ritual.
Oh, yes. If you have that spell, then by all means.
Yes, please. Story time.
Does comprehend languages work on written?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it does. It allows you to read written language and understand the literal translation of it.
I set up and start getting everything ready for comprehend languages.
Okay.
As I'm doing that, I'm just kind of like, we can read over anything you want while I have the spell active if you have anything else.
I have research notes that I took from one of the tables as well.
It's been a few sessions, and it's actually been a while since it happened in game, but you also have a letter that was written in Draconic by Phocion. As soon as he mentions that, that would spring into the characters' minds, even though it's been...
Well, Felix wouldn't know about it.
Oh, yeah,
Petra-
because you were off by yourself. But Petra, you were right there when Natari found that, when he was preparing Foss for burial. There was
Yeah, where's that letter?
What letter?
Petra proceeds to scream everybody's names from within the cavern. Doesn't move, just Morlo, Natari, everybody else, Petra in the backups. It's rehearsal time.
And as you are taking your short rest outside, you do hear this echoing out the mouth of the tomb. Everyone else.
Would interrupt my short rest to start
Just-
heading in.
Just going in isn't going to break a short rest. That's
Okay.
not travel. That's walking a few hundred feet. That's
Yeah.
That's like light
Okay.
duty.
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
gonna slowly climb out of the tree and
All right.
go
So,
head down.
and we will say by about...
Actually, no, I can't.
Hmm?
Never mind. What I messaged you in the chat.
Okay.
I'm saying it there.
But everybody else converges if they wish to back into the tomb, and we will say in about the time it takes everybody else to reconvene. Titus, you get set up and get done casting comprehend languages as a ritual.
During that time, Felix has laid out the book and the book back on the pedestal and has the notes ready.
Okay. So you guys lay open the journal to looking for the pages that you assume are probably the ones that would be talking about Titus. Just flip through, and about halfway through the journal abruptly ends on this page that you see on the screen in Roll20. And Titus, you get done casting comprehend languages as a ritual.
Now, is everybody going to be able to read it once I do this, or?
You're the one who can read it, but you can also read it out loud. So are you just reading it, or are you reading it aloud?
And this, I'm just going to kind of read it before I read out loud. That makes sense?
Sure. So do you want me to show it to you first, and then you can just read it out loud, or do you want me to show it to the entire table?
Just to show it to the entire table.
Okay.
It'll
And
save time.
You hear Titus begin to read.
Despite some trifling modicum of success and family.
Oh gosh, it sounds like you, Felix.
You gonna read it?
I mean, Titus, you're the one reading it. If you want to read it, go for it. I'm just speaking out loud. Oh, balls.
Orcus.
Yep, I just saw that. Turn Q1 enough to favor arms. Arms cunning tilts.
Do I recognize that name? I mean, I know. I think the necromancer mentioned it earlier, but I don't think I was there for that. Do I recognize that name?
Are you? Didn't you say you were staying outside of the tomb?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the
Oh
tree.
yeah, I did. Never mind.
So you are oblivious to this. It was just easier to show it to everybody instead of only showing
I'm
it to.
I'm just gonna read it out loud to everybody, but I'm not actually gonna read it.
Yep.
Everybody can see that.
Huh.
So that's something.
Orcus.
What is that? What?
Oh, this is deep.
Titus and Felix, with your passive arcanas, you are familiar with who
Orcus.
Orcus is. Also, actually, you have all heard the name Orcus before, because Gadamer Galyugar explained to you all that that is the animating power that basically
He's the
like,
god of unlife.
yeah, he's essentially the demon prince of undeath, and
Gotcha.
mindless undead like zombies and skeletons. He is what animates them.
Huh. God of Magalyugar would be a good resource to have right now, but he's a little far away.
We'll have to pay him a visit some other time, dear.
I have to. That or the Sabian Conclave. I still have a few contacts that I could trust. I will stuff the book. Well, was there anything else from the book that we got?
How long does comprehend languages last?
Was it 10
An
minutes?
hour, I think.
Or was it an hour?
An hour, 10 minutes is on.
Hold on, I'm looking. 1 hour.
Okay. You can pretty much read over the entire thing, except comprehend languages is not going to help you with the arcane formula, because that is not a language, it is computation. This is all a series of experiments in which whoever's laboratory this was trying to siphon off the essence of shadows, specifically that property by which anyone killed by a shadow's strength drain
Becomes a shadow.
And was trying
And
to
that's-
basically instill that essence in a zombie. And just over and over and over again, even though the ability to instill that property was rudimentary, the zombies did not alter their behavior. They would still attack with
bestial-like fervor.
Yes, yeah, basically. Like they were not attacking to consume, they were attacking to destroy. So they would
I shorthand all this to everybody in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as I'm going through the book.
Titus, is there any mention of who this individual was or who they might work for?
Roll me an investigation check. Unless you're just literally going to sit here and read through.
Yeah, so he also had the research notes too.
Yep.
So I didn't know if that would help his investigation. Holy crap!
So there's a couple of things.
Tell me what I know.
There is a couple of things. There are a couple of mentions of the need.
As I'm reading through this, I'm going to be like, does anyone have anything to drink? Like deep into the book, like and holding my hand
whips
up,
out
like
a bottle and just tosses it at his open hand.
Cool.
Do I catch it?
She goes, hup, hup.
Absolutely.
All right, and then I'm just going to drink it while I'm reading.
That's pretty good hooch.
Let it dribble down my chin.
Thanks for that mental image.
And we've had talk of tentacles grabbing stabs. We've had talks of dribbling down chin. This is one heck of a session, guys.
Okay, we're going full hentai. Never go full hentai. So there is talk a few pages in about with the promise of progress of how easy it was to instill the transference property of shadows into zombies. That became obvious that there was going to be more research to be done here, and there would be the need for a protector and a custodian. And it makes reference to summoning a beholderkin to act as basically the security. And there is a reference to somebody by the name of Phaedron, who will be the custodian of the laboratory. There is different talk about these specimens being chosen specifically because they are it's easier to experiment on the forgotten dead than on the recently dead, and here they have a location that has been basically forgotten to the sands of time through quote unquote mortal short-sightedness. And that this location was chosen specifically for that because it offered a location away from prying eyes. As far as like who wrote this, it's all in the first person. It's all referencing today I had a breakthrough, today I did this, or I think if I try this. The only specific mentions you find to other people are the mention of this Phaedron, who is to be the custodian, Chafflecax, who was summoned as a guardian of this place.
Rip.
And the only other name that appears in the entire book is this Verine that is scribbled beside the arcane formula. Off into the margin, it just says Verine ? And those are the only specific names given. And then the Chafflecax and Phaedron are mentioned specifically for what their duties are and what their intended job to be done in this place is. Verine is just like an offhanded scribble in the margins while whoever this was working on this arcane formula.
Oh, you're muted, Ben.
Can't hear you, Ben.
Then looking at the pages I got off of the table and asking Felix if he wants me to look through the ones he got off of that table.
Yes, of course, please.
The ones from the table. Sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
Sorry, I was just gonna say Natari. There he is. Give Titus that note. You have the note still, right? From Foss.
Yes, here, take it.
And
We need
Natari.
you to read this.
Titus, I'll hold on to the book.
Okay.
Maybe write it down, and then one of us will read it. No, you can read it. Oh, it's okay. It's
What
fine.
are you?
Felix will whip out his journal. I'll take dictation while you speak.
What are you reading first, Titus?
Since there's so much hubbub about this thing from Natari, I am going to read it. I'm going to rescribe it onto a piece of paper, rip it out of my book, and hand it to him.
Okay.
And then I'm going to look through the other notes that came off the table, and
the notes that came off of the table by you are about you. It is every cut, every experiment, every injury that was bestowed upon you, the reason why it was done, and what they were looking for.
Okay. Not saying that out loud while they're looking over this note.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the other table? What's that one say?
The notes from the other table are further experimentation notes about specific experiments that were done on the bodies of these reanimated knights, trying to get them to use their ability to create other zombies in turn and not being able to do so.
Okay.
So basically the book is the journal detailing, like, dear diary, today I couldn't make the zombies want to eat people.
All right. Now,
But the notes are like specifically what was trying to be done.
okay. Now, here's my question. Would any of these notes aid in learning some kind of skill? Like if I wanted to pick up medicine, the book that's all about diagramming people's internal organs, stuff like that.
Oh, the anatomy book, yeah.
Well, I would assume you wouldn't have handed that over because that wasn't in this.
No, I mean, I've got that, but I found other notes on that, and I'm just wondering, like the other book, would somebody be able to learn some kind of point in Arcana or something if they read it?
The anatomy book would definitely be something that you could spend time reading and studying to pick up proficiency in medicine. I mean, that's basically exactly what it is. It would take a while.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically just, I mean, it basically is just a textbook on the physiology of the various anthropomorphic and anthropic races of Zekarist, and how you would treat each one, but also how you would perform surgery on each one, which seems to be what it was used for here.
Okay, now the last pages that I'm going to go back and look at are the ones that were closest to my table. Here's a question. When casting comprehend languages as a ritual, I'm guessing there's incense and candles and stuff like that involved?
No. It is just extra steps of basically what you would normally do in the course of preparing your spells in the morning. Instead of preparing it in the morning as you're memorizing the spells, you're just doing that on the fly, like conjuring the various arcane energies that it would take to commit this spell to memory. But then instead of committing it to memory, you then immediately cast it out into a casting of the spell.
Okay.
There's no like seance. You're not holding hands and, you know.
I wasn't sure if there was like you had to draw a circle out and I don't know, salt and then light a candle, blah blah blah. I wasn't sure.
No.
So I'm going to take everything that has to do with anatomy.
Yep.
That came from this table and this table, and I'm going to put them into that medical book.
Okay.
And I'm going to look over at Felix and be like, I'll hold on to this one since you have that one. And put it in my satchel.
Sounds good.
You're going to share what you find, though, right?
This one will teach you anatomy and how to medically care for someone. That is.
No, I only care about maiming people. You can keep that.
Well,
I mean, technically, you could maim them more efficiently.
Yes, you would know where to poke them.
I mean, you do have a rapier. That's pretty surgically precise.
I mean, I'm not one for style, you know. I fly by the seat of my pants.
And
Right.
that one there is more for history.
You're not one for style? That's I think that's a gross mischaracterization there.
Well, you know, whatever you think, it's fine. But I don't need to know about anatomy.
Okay.
Killing is killing.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
And we will say right about now, anybody that was taking a short rest has taken it. Felix, Titus, you guys would not be able to benefit from a short rest because
you were active.
Titus, you cast a spell. Felix, you were physically active in trying to pry up this copper tubing. Anybody else who wants to take one can mark a short rest on your character sheets, and just make sure that you mark the number of hit dice that you spent to regain hit points.
Well, Titus, did you see anything or did you read anything in that book about this dais or this podium?
You didn't go into that detail,
Yep.
Shannon.
There was, I mean, it basically does start from the very beginning, talking about selecting this place because it was away from prying eyes, creating this additional annex to the rest of the tomb, which would serve as a laboratory, creating the space. The most disconcerting part of it is probably there is a line that says opening a doorway for mother, and that's all it says.
Oh, don't like that.
I suggest that we try to get the cauldron out of here, if at all possible. If we can't, then it needs to be guarded until we can get someone of authority here that would know what to do with it. Maybe someone from the Alborn,
No, not the Alban.
or some other division that deals with this. Do you?
I think we should
Almighty
just try
Felix.
to take it.
I like Petra's idea.
It will be much more entertaining for me to watch you. So I'm
Did you
in.
just say Mighty Felix?
Well, I'm just trying to make friends in a dungeon.
Oh no, that was Chris. That was Chris. I couldn't hear. I was like, did he just say that? So, I would recommend keeping the Conclave and the Alban out of this because after Foss died, Lakexius sent me a message, and apparently the Alban is poking around, and I don't trust
Lakexius?
an acquaintance
His
that we made.
hot brother.
Okay,
An acquaintance we made.
hold on. If you could sum it up in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, who do you all work for? One moment I've heard that you work for this woman that gives everyone cool things. Then I hear you're working for Petra and you're her singing backups. And now you're working for this Keketra that thinks that the Alborn are chasing them. I mean, are you all schizophrenic?
No. All right, listen. We all had mutual contacts. Tell us about a job out of Elmswain to accompany this caravan to Brighthall. Sorry. And Lakexius is a mutual acquaintance of mine from the Conclave. He's one of the less pompous assholes that you could possibly find. Varine is someone that we all just learned about because Petra took the contract and didn't tell us about it, so we'll have to figure that out. So right now, we are just an adventuring party cobbled together, and we are trying to figure our way through this.
Yet I heard earlier that you're working for a caravan now?
We're guarding a caravan, yes.
And
We're multitaskers.
The caravan just so happened to be in a crypt.
No, we had a downtime, and
they're napping.
There's a lot to this.
Oh, so instead of enjoying a stein of ale, you all are like, I'm going to go investigate this tomb of woe.
Yeah, we have a problem.
Well, we didn't exactly expect this to be a tomb of woe, but
I didn't get a lot of hugs as a child.
And who is this
as a
Foss?
kitten?
Who is this Foss?
Foss was a traveling friend of ours who fell not 12 hours ago.
Oh.
Little sore subject, but
that explains the letter. Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you for your condolences. Let's figure out what to do with this podium first. Morlo.
Warlo's here.
Warlow here.
Love
Do
it.
you think, could you please try and move the cauldron, the podium with the bowl on it? We need to see if it's movable. It looks a little too sturdy for fragile little me.
Yeah, let me fix my map.
Oh, me.
Give him the help action the best we can.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll help him.
Okay.
Petra will watch.
Strumming her lute.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Scott, go ahead and make a strength check at advantage.
Okay.
Got this, Morlo.
Petra's gonna ask.
this.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just chanting. Room for improvement.
It will not budge.
Well, so much for that idea.
I think it'd be better. Well, should we destroy it then?
So I'm guessing you're all wanting to be away from the Alborn.
I have my suspicions of them.
Well, if you're wanting to be away from the Alborn, this is what I suggest. We tell them about this thing. Because it's going to take them forever to move it. Because it is an extra dimensional portal that weighs more than my mother's ass. So, if we leave it here, they're going to be focused on this while we do other things.
That almost sounds like Petra came up with it. Devious.
More than what? No.
Sounds like a pirate.
Arr!
Okay, well that's insulting.
Let's. I agree. Let's go with that plan because we need to get back to Sheridan. We're pushing almost daybreak, and we have to be out by 6.
Yes, if the Alborn are in the area, I believe that doing that and letting them know of the undead that are scouring the many mountaintops and hillsides around this area is sufficient, and I shall aid you in escorting your caravan.
You do realize there aren't any mountains in this area. They're far south, right?
Shush, man! You're ruining the moment, and walk out.
Yeah, shush, man.
Typical noble.
I like him.
Okay, so what is everybody doing?
We gotta find Emma because Emma's. Where's the child?
Okay.
Okay,
child.
again.
Don't look at me.
Natari,
You
you're the
have,
babysitter.
You have at this point counted out 700 gold pieces.
Holy crap!
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, let me think here. What did Petra grab? Which items did Petra grab? The pipe and
Oh God.
You took the bracers, didn't you?
the pipe and the bracers?
No.
The pipe
No,
and
not the
pearl?
bracers.
Oh, I think
What?
The pipe and the pearl?
Oh no,
No.
I already have the ring, the pearl, the leather bracers,
I think I have a
and I
book.
think that was it.
So you got the if Emma got the leather bracers, that means that Petra got the pipe.
Horn?
Oh, and the scroll,
Right.
the scroll case. That is not a scroll case because it's way too heavy. That
Yeah.
looks like a scroll case that has a dragon's head on one end of it.
Yeah, I didn't have time to write that down in my stuff. So.
That's all right. No, I just had to figure it out by process of elimination.
Thank you.
So,
And once
and
I'm
actually-
done
Gotta go to the
counting,
bathroom.
yep, no problem. Actually, while you were waiting for all of the reading and such, Petra, you would have had time to count the gold that you pilfered if you want to.
Yes. Absolutely.
300 gold.
Hooray!
so 1,000 gold total. Awesome. Yeah, once I'm done counting, I'm gonna climb out of the tree.
Okay, and you were done with that a while ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can
And-
just say that you.
So where's the child? And Emma walks in.
never mind. We don't have
Yes.
to spend 20 minutes finding her this time.
Bye, guys. Emma
Just the little lady we need to talk to.
Hi.
Hi. Let's get walking.
She's holding us. She's holding the staff.
She's got the staff with the head of a serpent on the top of it.
Oh, attuned to it, did you?
Yeah.
Good. Might be handy. Might be handy for you.
Yep, you can mark in your inventory that you have a staff of the adder.
I already
Ooh,
have
it's
it
pretty.
Okay. So what is the plan?
What do y'all need? Do you need to talk to me?
No, we were just wondering where you were.
Oh yeah,
here.
and Christian Felix wants us to fork over the money.
Not fork it all over, but we need to divvy it out.
It's only fair, Nugget.
I mean, you two will obviously receive a larger cut, and then Titus will receive a little extra because of the whatever you went through.
Mm-hmm.
You two
So
receive
how
finder's
much
fee.
did you get? Like
Potions, and that's about
500,
it.
400?
700.
You were
Okay.
supposed to say either 400 or 500. That I was giving you the out.
So Felix does.
We'll work on it.
Felix does a little math in his head. Sorry. 700 divided by 7, so obviously 100 gold each. But if you divvy it out, let's see, 60. Well, we're doing this while we're walking.
Okay.
Felix is just like doing numbers in his head. Let's see, 5% finder's fee.
Nice.
Petra skips ahead.
So you guys start moving to exit back out of the tomb. As you're having this lighthearted banter, there comes a noticeable thud from the catacombs.
Like that?
And Morlo goes, "Oh shit."
What was that?
Look in the direction of the sound.
Yeah, likewise.
Let me see what you can see.
You moving us around where we are now on the map?
Yeah. Well, actually, you guys were heading toward the exit, so just place yourself wherever you would be. And it comes from somewhere in this way that you hear the thud.
Felix is going to investigate.
All
Petra
right.
was skipping ahead though.
Morlo's gonna go with
You
Felix.
bored her.
All right. 1 second.
Wait, what now?
What?
What's coming
Alright.
from where?
There was a thud from the catacombs. Basically, Emma, you entered the room that everybody else was in, and you started talking about the amount, of gold that you had and the amount of gold that Petra had, and there was a thud from the catacombs behind you.
So what is the total that we know?
700.
The total what?
The total that the party knows of.
Right.
1,000.
Well, no, you guys watched Petra counting her coins as she was.
Right, but did they say how much? Did Petra say how much she had, or did
No
Emma?
one asked Petra yet.
Yeah.
Petra, how much did you have?
Give or take 300-ish.
Okay, well let's see. So
It's 300. Ugh,
so
I'm
if we
too
have
soft
1,000,
with you guys.
so if we have 1,000, so Felix is still doing. We'll do that later, but obviously we're going to investigate what the thud was.
Felix, I think there are more pressing matters at hand.
I know. I'm investigating what the thud was. Well, I said we'll do the math later.
What was the thud?
Roll me, whoever is investigating, roll me an investigation check.
Can I help Titus?
Yeah, you can give the help action if you want.
Okay, I'll give Titus advantage with help.
Thanks for the advantage.
No problem.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
It matters, man. It matters.
it matters.
It's as you look around, nothing looks particularly out of place. You're not seeing anything that would necessarily lead you to ascertain exactly what the cause of the sound was.
Okay.
But
I guess a rock fell.
I have a bad feeling. I think we should get out of here.
I think we're being watched.
Now, just like you
wouldn't
would
wanna
in the
watch me?
Clue movie, I'm going to creep over towards the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hello?
investigate again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. $25. Okay. You hear this bizarre scraping stone against stone sound.
There's a bazaar.
Every one of Titus's investigation rolls have been
Scraping
20 or above or garbage.
sound coming from this direction.
So where is Titus at on the map now? Because he said he's moved.
Yeah, move me where I'd be.
So you are about right where you would be looking around. And actually, right at about this point, Titus turns back to the rest of you and starts whispering that he hears a bizarre stone on stone sound. And behind him in the hallway, the secret door is lowering.
Oh, run out, run.
Everybody roll initiative, please.
Oh, balls.
Oh.
What's that? 6.
All right. Let's
Oh, I
see.
didn't click.
I didn't. I didn't click. Hold on.
Busted.
Ooh,
Oh, well.
Sorry.
I first rolled a 23 if you want to change that. I just didn't have my token clicked.
Okay. 23 versus 24, that's fine. Let's see here. Natari, who am I missing? I'm missing Morlo. No,
No,
I'm not.
you got one.
8.
Low
Okay.
more.
Okay. So the only person that is... Okay, so you guys start booking it for the secret hallway, for the secret doorway. Petra, Titus, and Natari, you guys make it out before the door shuts. So I will move you guys right there. Right there.
Does that leave somebody in there?
Yes.
Yeah, Felix, Emma, and Morla.
Felix,
Can,
Emma, and Morla.
as I'm sliding under there, can I prop my rapier under the thing where it would leave it open?
Rapier for that.
Rapier is strong enough for that.
Rapier is not going to be strong enough. It's pretty obvious.
Rapier won't be strong enough. Do I have anything on me that would be? God.
So as as Titus is desperately attempting to figure out a way to prop this thing open, Petra and Natari, you guys know how the secret door opens. You guys watched it be opened the first time. It's the sword on the statue. So like Titus is like losing his mind trying to figure out how to prop the door open from closing, and you guys know exactly where the mechanism is to operate this thing.
Petra yells, "Hurry, Titus, hurry!" and just nonchalantly strolls over and waits for him to put something underneath the door.
Oh my
God.
God. You are such a nice person.
All right, so he puts his rapier under there and like looks like he's hesitating for a moment.
It's gotta work. It's gotta work. And right as it like touches the tip of the rapier, I want to pull the sword out of the.
Or no, it's pushing it down. But yeah.
Yeah.
So it's warping my rapier.
So basically, the door comes down and
It
just
says you
starts
gotta
to
believe.
flex, and then stops, and then raises back up again.
Oh my god!
You
So
did it, Titus.
You guys watch as this happens.
I'm taking the rapier and looking at her and looking at the rapier and be like, I see how you are now. Well played. Well played.
Felix is walking
Oh,
up.
you saved them all. Way to go.
Thank you.
Right, Natari?
I have saved you, Natari. I have saved you, Morlo.
Saved you
I-
all.
And Felix, I saved you too.
Welcome to the group.
Felix, he saved you so hard. You owe him so big.
Oh, yes. Owing a noble. Yes.
It's gonna be so much fun. You owe a noble.
Now let's dramatically wait as Petra frolics away.
Bye. And you just hear her voice echo. And she yeets.
And she eats. Okay.
Thus she yeeted.
Okay. So you guys just leaving the tomb?
Yeah, and it's just
Yep.
out.
Okay, cool.
Just not even.
As I'm
She's
walking,
so on the fence about telling the new guy how the door worked, but she decides not to.
Okay.
as they're all walking out, I'm going to take a quick glance around the room, just make sure nothing's being missed, at least to his benefit.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Nothing.
Yep. Just looks like a catacomb.
Carry the 2. Divide by third.
Do you need help with math?
No, I'm actually fairly good at it. Thank you, though.
Okay. Just
Ooh.
wanted to make sure.
There we go.
How good at math are you, Titus?
150 for myself, Natari, Morlo, and Xanthion. 160 finder's fee for Emma and Petra, and 180 in consolation to Titus for his punishment, his torture.
Ooh.
Shuts the
I
book.
get paid for punishment. Yes.
Titus has been a bad boy.
You get paid for being a gimp.
Well, thank you.
It's only fair.
Welcome to Petra and the
Wait,
backups.
so how much
Let's
gold
go,
do I
team.
keep?
We're not Petra in the backups, but for the contract that we'll have to take,
Felix,
Yes.
Christian, you said Emma gets 160.
yes, Emma and Petra receive 160 for finder's fee, and the remainder, which makes it 180, goes to Titus. So
I think we should
150
rename it to Petra and the Loot.
Oh, sorry, not one. My apologies. I might have got the 4 wrong. It's 125. 125 for the 4. 125 times
Doing
4,
math.
500. Yep.
No,
Sorry.
I just like
You're all letting him do the math. I'm just going to follow the numbers.
I'm just here to look pretty.
Okay, I'm sorry. I screwed up a 50 and a 25. I found my mistake.
Emma's
Yeah,
gonna
125 what?
125 gold.
Yeah, 125 for Morlo, Natari, Felix, and Xanthion. 160 for the finders. 180 for the BDSM addict.
And then you guys.
Oh, some of that was Electrum as well, wasn't it? Or platinum.
No, it was all gold.
It was all
Oh, it was all gold.
Everything,
Oh, I thought you said there was some platinum in there. Sorry.
No.
the chest
Um,
full of gold pieces.
when Emma takes the gold out of her bag, she just kind of glares at Felix as she individually picks them out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Um,
Did you have something you want to say, child?
I have something to
Oh.
say, but I'm not a child.
If I gave you your chance,
Well,
next time you'll know better, huh?
I
Listen,
can
Lying
I
is
can
good.
tell you what the
we're trying to
magical
break-
items are.
Oh, magical items. Oh, they didn't say anything about magical items.
I can tell you what the magical items are if anyone needs aid in discovering the magical items.
Yeah, finding out what those are to best suit
I
the party.
believe, if I remember correctly, I heard a chest open. Then I heard another chest open.
Oh my
Felix
God!
looks over-
Can you
Felix looks over-
stop
Felix looks over to
talking?
Petra. Felix looks over to Petra and goes, "I like his point, but now I see what you mean by I talk too much."
Now you see.
Now
It's
I see.
better
Emma,
to know what the magical item is before you
Stop
attune to it.
talking.
Listen,
The
child.
little girl
If you
needs
want,
a
if
beer.
you want to be a hoarder and take everything for yourself and leave us all to die, so that
I
way
have
you're
to
easy
take
pickings.
it out. I have to. You shut up.
I'm sorry. I hear a lot of
Emma
complaints.
takes out the ring, the pearl, and the bracers, and she's like, "Are any of these magical?"
Good. Titus,
Uh,
can you figure that out?
I could, but I will need to stop moving. Are we
No.
outside the tomb, or are we been walking?
You can walk and cast. It's not a problem.
All right. Even with ritual?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Detect
It is a
magic, and
Longer
then
and more elaborate casting than a typical casting. You can still be moving while you do it.
all right. Detect magic to figure out what all's magical, then identify on the magical items.
The pearl is magical. The ring is magical.
Let's
The
introduce them up one at a time.
magical.
Well, no, let's not introduce them one at a time. Let's just get this over.
The scroll case looking thing is magical, and the
Didn't produce those.
oh, you did not. Okay, never mind.
Not
Sorry.
yet.
Okay, you do sense that there are magical. There is a magical aura coming from Petra.
Okay, so which ones did I get identified?
Well, all you've done is detect them so far.
All right. Well, this pearl is magical. Go through all the list of everything that's magical, and then I'm going to go, and her hip is magical.
I get that a lot. I mean, both of them are magical, but yeah, I
No,
do get that a
just
lot.
your
Thank you.
right hip. Just all of the items next to your right hip are emanating from your hipness. So I believe that we need to take a look at what's in your bag, ma'am.
I believe you're gonna have to step back and not touch my bag, sir.
Oh, can you tell me about these
What
two?
about the
Emma's
hip?
gonna just take out the scarab.
Only if you
the
buy me
pewter
dinner
buck-
first.
You're taking out the scarab and the what?
The scarab, the pewter buckle, the pewter brooch pin, the silk pendant, and armband. Pewter
Oh
armband.
my God. I'm just going to start identifying everything.
Yep.
You get an identify. You get an identify. You get an identify.
Nothing that Emma produces beyond the first 3 items are magical.
Okay. Emma's gonna put on the armband and the bracers then.
Okay. So the so as you guys are walking back toward Sheridan, the bracers. Well, what are you identifying first?
The ones that I can actually get a hold of. The ones at Petra's hip, no. So
Okay.
you choose the order, and then as each one is discovered of what they are, I'm going to assess the group on who it would work best for.
Okay. So the bracers are bracers of archery.
You said the bracers weren't magical.
No, everything after the first 3 items that you produced were not magical. So the bracers, the pearl, and the
Oh, well then.
ring are.
All right.
Scarab in it, all of that stuff is not.
The
The only
bracers are going to
person
Xanthion.
the only person I've seen using archery is Xanthion, so I'm going to be like, I believe these are best for you. They aid in archery.
Okay.
Xanthion just looks at you and goes, "Thanks."
The pearl is a pearl of power.
Oh. Oh.
And that goes. Who would that best suit?
You, Petra, or Felix.
Oh, Petra.
Does Titus say this out loud?
I'm going this one.
Titus, please, either you or Petra take it.
Well, seeing that I'm a noble, I would gladly give this to the other caster if they would let me look at their other items, so that we could be a more potent group of adventurers.
First of all, if I let you look at my items, you have to let me decide what I want.
That works.
Maybe I don't want the pearl.
All right, I'm
There
going
might
to
be
set the
something better
pearl.
for me.
I'm going to set the pearl down and be like, "This will work for a caster," and then go
Okay.
to the next item.
Okay, and she'll empty her pockets of the dragon scroll and the other thing.
All right.
What was it? Pipe.
The pipe. Yep. The ring is a ring of the ram.
Oh.
That would be good for anybody. It has a strong, like martial component.
And Morlo, probably.
Morlo would be the best for the ring.
Yes, I agree entirely.
Okay.
Orla, how about we bedazzle you a little bit? How's that sound?
How the hell am I supposed to wear this with my turtle hands?
It's magical.
You have hands.
It should
pierce your ear
adapt
if
to
you
your
like.
finger. Does the ring adapt to the finger it's being put on?
Yep. Magical rings will automatically resize themselves to be the size that they need to be for the person who's.
Now all you have to explain to Morlo how he can use the ring.
Here,
Since
Felix,
I identified it.
if Felix will take the ring if Titus gets it and walk it over to Morlo.
That works.
So Felix goes up to Morlo and says, "Can I have your hand, please?"
Morlo is a little hesitant, but agrees. Holds out his left hand.
Thank you. It's all right. Now see, watch this. And as Felix starts to slide the ring over your claw, the ring just starts to magically grow to fit your finger. There you go. Magical rings have this innate property that makes them a little bit of a wild card. They can fit anybody.
And then Scott, you can just add a ring of the ram to your equipment. You should just be able to add it and search for ring of the ram, and it will come up.
Okay.
You look gorgeous, darling.
Yes.
Do you want me to redo the ring, or do you want to do it yourself? Stop.
I think he's reading it.
Okay.
So the Petra produces what looks like a scroll case and a pipe, a meerschaum pipe, carved in the shape of a helmet of a suit of armor. Titus, you actually are taken aback by the weight of this, what you think is a scroll case, but is entirely heavier than a scroll case should be, in your hand, and it's obviously a very solid piece of metal. And you look it over and begin casting your identify. Actually, roll me a perception check for Titus. 16. You do actually notice that in the mouth of the dragon there is a button that looks like it could be pressed.
Oh.
Thinking I know what this is before even casting the spell, hold it in one place and then push the button. And then try to jiggle it.
Oh, God.
Okay, so you press the button and you try to jiggle it, and it will not move.
Unclick the button and then it'll move?
Yep.
The immovable rod.
An immovable rod.
Everyone, we have an immovable rod. I have heard them be called other things in certain social structures. We will leave that to your imagination. If you would like to have an immovable rod, here is one.
Ah! I want to snatch it.
Is anybody else going for it?
Emma's gonna, Petra's gonna shove Emma out of the way.
As they're jumping toward it, I'm going
He's
to
gonna
push
press
the
the
button without saying where the button is, and leave it
Can I
right
see-
there
can we
to
see him
watch
press
them
the
fight
button?
over it. They better not see the button, because that was my whole goal with this.
Oh my
Can we,
god.
can we roll to see the button? Can we roll to see where he put the button?
Well, it's actually really kind of hard to be looking for the button because you basically are shoving each other out of the way.
Okay,
So,
that's fair.
We're gonna say roll contested athletics checks against each other.
Oh boy.
It's
Somebody
two.
cracks
go.
their head into this thing, I'm going to die laughing.
So Petra, as is understandable with the size difference, Emma starts to go for it, and you just basically plant the palm of your hand on her face and just kind of shove her out of the way, and try to grab the scroll case the rod from Titus's hand, and roll me a strength check.
Both of us, or just?
No, just Petra. It will not budge.
Okay, do I?
And
Can I
at
roll to
this
see what I know
moment,
about these things?
when Petra grabs a hold of it, I'm going to be like, "See, it does not move. It's amazing."
Felix is laughing.
Okay, so you want to know what you know about these, Emma. Roll me an Arcana.
Yeah.
And Petra, what are you doing?
So what's the situation right now?
You are trying to move this immovable rod that is fixed
here.
in place.
Petra's just gonna she's gonna be the little engine that could. She's just gonna keep trying to move this bitch.
Yeah.
If she wants it.
Emma's
she's like
stopped
on the
touching
ground,
it right
like,
now and is just looking at it.
Okay. Roll
She's
me
like got her feet up against it, like yanking back, like just ridiculous bullshit.
literally hanging in midair with her feet propped up against the rod, just hanging there, trying to get this thing to budge, and it just will not move.
I rolled an
Can Felix
18.
walk up and just tap the button?
So right about the time you're like, oh yeah, that's got a button somewhere on it. Felix walks up, taps the button, Petra
I
falls.
rolled an 18 on my Arcana.
Yeah, you know exactly how it works. You know there's a button,
Oh,
and
I
right
was gonna go hit the button,
yep, but
but that same effect, I guess.
on the same turn that you are making the Arcana check to remember that there is a button, Felix just walks up and you fall. You have the immovable rod.
Felix,
Okay.
sorry.
Well,
I forgot about the laws of physics here for a second.
oh, I'm sure you did. It's okay. I'm sure I can beat it back into you if you ever need any help.
Easy. It's just a lighthearted fun.
Well, so was this. Oh, was it too dark? So I'm terrible at gauging.
Well, it sounded fun to me.
So well, I mean, yeah. I guess it depends on your version of fun. I apologize. Tea and scones for us then. That's fun for you, right? And reading things in math.
Felix just kind of backs off and just starts walking.
It got too dark for him, my fuzzy one.
He can dish it out, but he can't take it back. That's all. He'll learn.
And then finally, you have
Felix is going to turn around, actually.
Okay.
Funny, considering somebody was laughing at me for some chiding I got in the middle of combat from our half-elf friend, but the second you get laughed at, you get all pissy. So, pot call the kettle.
I'm not pissy. I'm just dishing you out what you're giving back to me.
Is Petra still holding the rod?
I don't know. Is Petra still holding the rod?
Yes.
Emma's gonna press the button again.
Do it.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Okay.
Petra, contest that with a perception check.
God damn it.
Yep, Emma's going for the button.
Okay, back off, you creep. You know what? Fine, you can have it. And can she toss it and press the button?
I mean,
At the same time,
it wouldn't
like-
leave your hand.
Yeah, like
It would-
basically
it would-
the second that you try to press the button, it's just gonna freeze right where it is.
Oh, okay. I wanted to toss it to her and then. Okay. Well, fine. She's just gonna toss it to her. You can have it.
All right, and then I'm
And it does a
going
little
back to
dance.
identifying items.
Okay. And the very last thing is a pipe of remembrance.
I had a character.
Pipe of
He's,
remembrance? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Sounds like an unforgettable bong or something.
I say, as long as I can smoke it, I don't care. I'll take it.
Oh
There you
yeah.
go. I just dumped it into the chat.
Shannon, I just messaged you in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
Oh, Shaboopy. I take a level of exhaustion.
Yep. So mark yourself off 1 level of exhaustion.
What?
Oh, God. So, Felix is walking away at this point, so it's kind of hard to see.
Why is this whispering? I don't want it to whisper.
I don't either. I forgot to make mine whisper.
Okay. Let's see here. Why can I not?
And then after that,
Mhm.
once I am going to light this pipe and smoke it.
Okay. So
We're
you
both
guys,
very interested in that.
all right. So you guys watch. You sure you're gonna do that?
Wait a second. No, actually, no.
Okay.
Not anymore.
I think that
I mean,
I think that would go
and
a
if
little
you
crazy.
want to,
Well, hold on, I'm gonna message you.
okay.
And the description of the pipe to everybody or just Ben?
I'm trying to figure out why it's trying. I'm trying to send it over to the chat, but it is just whispering it for some reason.
Oh, no worries.
Check
I was
your-
just
check
making sure I
your-
didn't miss it because I
Check your
restarted.
Beyond 20 app.
Yeah.
A setting might have gotten reset because mine used to always ask to whisper, but it hasn't been doing it.
More options. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Use general whisper settings. Saved. Okay, now it should go over. No, that's still a
No.
whisper.
Still whispered. That's weird.
Yes, it is very strange. Hold on 1 second.
I sent you a message, Shannon.
Yeah, I'll look at it in just 1 second.
Do you want me to look it up and try and?
For the love of God, yes. Will somebody just please look up Pipe of Remembrance and send it
Yep.
over to the chat? Thank you very much. This is
I
driving
don't,
me.
I don't know if that's like a DM setting where it's doing that, but it doesn't make sense if it would be.
Ask every time. Okay.
There, you guys see it?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
There you
That suits Petra. That really does.
Please don't wait. So are you communicating this to everybody or not? Because Petra's just gonna try to grab the pipe and smoke out of it, whether or not she knows what it is.
When Petra reaches to grab the pipe, I will graciously let her have it.
Okay, so you snatch the pipe.
Yeah, Petra's gonna light that bitch up.
All right, so Petra tamps a thumbful of tobacco into the pipe and lights it up and smokes, or yes, tobacco, and exhales.
I immediately interrupt her and be like, "Madam, I believe,
madam.
I believe you are in this moment. In this moment, madam, you must partake in this skunk weed that I have."
Sure.
And then I let her
not?
I let her stuff her pipe with something other than tobacco.
The wacky tobacco.
Marlo is very curious because he learned of various types of weeds on his adventures in the Tazzle land, so he's really curious about if this is what he encountered across the sea. So he's really very curious.
The party is just going to say, screw the main quest, and we're going to open up a hydroponic shop.
But you haven't lived
That's
until
that
you've
Dutchie.
seen, you haven't lived until you've seen a high turtle.
Scott, Dean is asking if Raphael could join his world on Minecraft. He just wanted to show him something real fast.
Join my world, man. Get on my level.
Join my world. All right, let me see here. All right. So you guys watch as Petra, on the walk back to Sheridan, takes this pipe and packs the bowl full of some leaf that Titus handed over to her, and then lights up a small match and takes a big puff out of the pipe and exhales the smoke. And as the smoke exhales from her lungs, it takes the shape of a ship. It coalesces into the form of a sailing ship that sails away from her and off as waves of smoke start to ripple away from the ship, and these tiny little smoke creatures are running about the deck, seeing to the efforts and the upkeep and the maintenance of a ship at sea, as the sails are unfurled and flowing away and riding open waves, and more smoke follows out of the pipe, and you see the deck of a ship, and you see what looks like a younger smoke form of Petra as she is grasping a flintlock pistol and takes a shot and dives underneath in the below decks of this ship, and you see her jump out of a hole in the side of the ship into a sea, an ocean of smoke, and swim desperately and turn back and look just as this smoke-filled ship just explodes in a large, just massive burst of flame and debris just splashing down around her in these crashing waves. And you see her just reach her hand out toward the ship and scream, and then the smoke swirls again into another ship, a whole ship, a ship docked as she makes her way down the gangplank onto a set of docks with a knapsack, and just gives a glance back, and somebody up on the ship just raises a hand at her, and she raises a hand back and just turns and walks away, and all of the buildings around her just fade into another series of buildings, a series of women that she is talking to, the various monies exchanged, various contracts signed. You see her younger in a cloak as she looks to be in a very elaborate bed chambers. as she gently slides a letter underneath a sheaf of papers and looks around suspiciously, and then goes to the window and opens the window and crawls out, shutting it behind her. And you see the smoke swirls again, and she's laughing. She's laughing so hard with a woman with whom she is counting out coin on a table. And they just raise their tankards to each other and hit them together as smoke froth just splashes onto the table. And as it splashes onto the table, it swirls again into another image of her as she is reading a letter, and she just arches an eyebrow and she smiles and she crumples it up and she shoves it into her vest and she grabs her knapsack and she starts walking. And as the landscape around her shifts and changes, you watch as she walks down the road that leads into Elmswain and walks into a tavern, and a smoke form of a tiefling rubbing down the bar just looks up at her and nods, and the smoke clears.
Petra like chucks the pipe and says, "What the hell was that?"
Pipe of remembrance. It plays out the memories of the heroic deeds of the user. So you use it, and it will show events from your life.
Heroic deeds.
Yes.
Somebody else can have the pipe. Can we just go?
Yes. I agree. Anybody
Petra
going
just
for
walks
the pipe?
away. What?
I said, is anybody else going for the pipe?
Morlo.
I say, Felix will meet you over at the pipe.
You've got to understand, this is the most excited you have seen Morlo probably ever.
Well, my friend.
Like, he's actually smiling, or as much
He
as
wants the pipe of bragging rights.
Felix is going to pull out his personal pipe, and he's going to hand you the Meerschaum pipe. Smoke together?
Yes.
All right. You can keep your
I put my
type
bag of
tobacco.
skunk weed just out for everyone, and then I go and kind of like put myself beside Petra.
Okay.
I just pack it with tobacco, and thank you, Titus.
And what is it? What is this? We're actually Morlo's actually smoking.
It's over in the chat.
Is it okay? Oh, that's. I mean, is that the? You know, the pipe. I know, but is it? What is in the pipe?
What is in the pipe is
Oh,
Juana?
that's up to you. Titus put out his skunk weed to everybody, and Felix has his own personal stash, but
Okay.
no one's asked to use it.
Is it
So
Cuban?
Morlo has, in his previous adventures, had some. I don't know. I guess it was some type of local herb that was used, similar to the spice in Dune, actually, but it's only found it's actually found in this on this island, and it's been years. And Morlo is not at all the drug user, but he had a really good time when he discovered this. In Morlo's life, he hasn't had many good times, so he's very excited to even come close to that. But again, he has no idea what he's doing.
So Felix says, you can either smoke my tobacco, or you can smoke what Titus has provided.
Which one comes from further north?
Further north? I couldn't tell you.
I just
looking
know
for
that my
very-
stuff will make you feel better.
Okay, I'll try yours.
Felix just kind of looks over at Petra and just kind of has a moment of doubt to that.
Okay, Morlo's going to try Titus's stash.
So before Titus walks away. Felix is going to look at or lean over to him. Could you check on Petra? I'm not the person to do it. She and I don't get along, but could you just make sure she's all right?
Of course, my liege. And walk away like a military officer.
Dismissed.
So,
Hey, Shannon.
yeah. What's up?
Actually, I'll whisper it to you in the chat here in a second.
Okay.
Is-
So Scott, is Morlo smoking the pipe?
He's smoking the shit out of the pipe.
Okay.
Do I have to roll something?
No.
Constitution?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. So
Imagine that Morlo is like all of us good law-abiding citizens in Illinois last year when marijuana became legal, and he's just going ape shit at the Nature's Treatment warehouse.
nice.
That's Morlo's face right now.
Just imagine seeing Morlo up at the dispensary in Galesburg.
Exactly.
So first things first, as Morlo takes a big drag off of this pipe and exhales the smoke out, another ship appears in the smoke, and you watch as it sails away from Morlo and then zooms in, basically, as if the ship itself grows larger, but as if the perspective of the person watching is actually going down into the ship and below decks into a series of cages containing people of all races, people of all ages, people of all genders, people in captivity, as these men, these angry looking men, walk around through the cages, and every now and then just taking a whip and whipping somebody through the bars until they come to a cage with a turtle, and the whip cracks and the turtle reaches up, wrapping the whip around his forearm, and he pulls, and the face of the man who is trying to whip him smashes against the bars of the cage and explodes into another puff of smoke that swirls around to Morlo holding an axe, snarling, and just as angry a face as you have ever seen, as he drives, not in a chop, but just shoves the blade of his axe into the throat of a man you have never seen before, a man dressed in armor, and just shoves until the man moves no more and casts him down. And then again, the smoke swirls to Morlo standing in an arena with people cheering all around him as he stands over the fallen bodies of several men, as he slams his walking axe into the ground, into the sand of this pit, and looks up. And then his face rotates until he is standing in front of another man dressed in robes, who's counting out a series of coins to him and slides it across the table. And Morlo grabs it up and ties this coin purse into his walking axe like a bindle, and over his shoulder he walks up the gangplank of another ship that sails and makes dock in another area that looks quite similar to the one that you've just seen in Petra's vision. And then it shifts around to a barren, remote, desolate land. No trees, no vegetation, just the most barren area. But Morlo stands holding the hand of a small child, and she clings to his arm, looking up, and he stands facing a man wearing a turban with a long beard, and he looks down at the child, and he looks up at Morlo, and he puts his hand on Morlo's shoulder, and Morlo reaches the little girl's hand and puts it in this man's hand, and the man reaches down and puts his hands on the little girl's shoulder and says something to her, and you see her face just light up with smiles and tears running down her eyes, and she throws her arms around the neck of this turbaned man, and it swirls again to Morlo on the road, and he's speaking to an elf draped in a cleric's robes with the sunburst symbol of the Blessed Mother, obviously Natari, and he reaches forward and they shake hands, and they turn and they move, entering into Elmswain, sitting down at a table, taking a meal, and Xanthion sits down beside them, and they both just side-eye him, and it swirls, and the smoke dissipates.
Felix is going to look at Morlo.
Boy.
Well,
So
first,
what's her name?
as all that goes through Morlo's head, he just pulls the pipe out of his mouth and blows out the most. It gives out an and says, "A black thing." It just actually kind of smiles, and then go ahead, Felix.
So what was her name?
The girl?
Mhm.
She was the daughter of the only human friends I've ever had. Her name was Andra. And I rescued her after her family was slain.
I'd say you're a good man, but you're not a man. You're a turtle. But the sentiment's still there.
And Morlo actually laughs because he's high as shit right now.
The only way Felix is funny. I'm glad to be with you, Morlo. Let's go check on Petra.
During all of that, all Felix wants to do is walk up beside Petra and say this one sentence.
You mean all Titus wants to do?
I mean, all Titus wants to do is walk up. Yes.
Okay.
You're more worthy than anyone I've ever met. I respect.
And I said it in chat, Emma's walking right beside Petra, just quiet.
Got it.
You have no idea how unworthy I am. But for now, I'll take it.
Well,
thanks.
Take it and run with it, because I do not give admiration out willingly. But
I'm beginning to sense that.
But based on what I'm seeing from this turtle, it's going to be a new thing going on again. He's such an honorable man.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of honorable people here in this crew.
Well, I appreciate everything you have done thus far, and if you would take more kindly to a physical gesture, you may have 20 of my gold if that would help.
If I need 20 of your gold, I'll just take it from you. Don't worry.
Well,
I'm fine.
Take it from this pouch right here, because it has exactly 20 gold on it. So if you want to steal it, please steal this pouch, this one, not no other, just this one. This pouch right here, it's tied on this third loop, The third
Mhm.
loop from my inner thigh. You see
Oh,
it?
good grief.
You see this?
The second loop.
I can't miss it at this point.
All right. I believe the young lass here named Emma wants to speak to you, so I'll walk away now. I'm walking away. Watch me
see you
as
walking away.
I walk away.
One last detail, Scott. That last, as Felix was walking up, and you guys shared that moment, as Morlo exhales that last breath, that last exhalation of smoke, as it drifts away from you, it shifts into the image of Edric and Era holding each other. And as they float away on the wind, they both just raise a hand, waving, and then scattered on the wind.
Marlo has a tear run down his cheek.
All right, Emma.
Emma's just gonna look up to Petra as Titus walks away. Like he talks a lot.
We have no shortage of talkers in this crew. I agree. And
You
Petra
want
just
the
keeps
rod?
walking. Sorry, what?
You want the rod? She holds it up.
Sorry, I still can't hear you.
You want the rod? And she holds up the movable rod.
No, I think you're gonna have more use out of it than I. You can take it. Knock your little self out with it, Nugget.
What if we use it as a ladder?
Sure.
If you hold on to it and you hold it up and you can pull yourself up and get onto it again, you might need two of them.
You'd need two of them, yeah. So we'll find you another one, okay, Nugget?
She chuckles and
I'm sure there's
Sort
another
of.
one lying around here somewhere.
and she just goes quiet again.
Really
That's what
getting into
we call-
character.
That's what we call method acting.
Yep.
Okay.
What, did she roll a deception?
Sorry. I was doing a couple of other things. What would she be rolling a deception for?
I don't know. I'm sure there'd be another one around here. I just heard sounds from the roll 20. It's
okay.
never mind.
No. That was actually me. Okay. So we will say, because each one of those castings of Identify was taking 10 minutes, and then there was also the discussion of going through like who was going to get what, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. By about this time, you guys are starting to catch a glimpse of, well, actually, first things first. In the interim, while all this is happening, this journey back to Sheridan would take you actually quite close to the cemetery. Is there anything anybody is wanting to do to revisit the cemetery? That is an option if you want to.
Do we
No.
have, if we stopped, would we have time to make it back in time? The way that this is going?
It would be super close, especially after having taken a long rest and examined the tomb. So
I say we stop at Foss's grave and pay our final respects properly.
So Felix is in favor of stopping. Anybody else?
Petra is just gonna follow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow too.
What would you like to do?
Titus,
Thanks.
we have no assurance that we'll be safe. We have no assurance that we'll make it out alive. This is where we laid Foss to rest, and if you still wish to follow us, we would gladly have you.
I will stand sentinel on the outskirts of the graveyard. Ensure you're all safety. Bye to one.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna walk up to the grave, make sure all the flowers are still healthy.
Yep. They are all here. They are all in bloom.
Felix is going to start saying a prayer. And then when he gets done with that, you will be missed. And the fight is not over. Rest easy. We have the watch from here. And Felix will step back. If anyone else.
Orlo's going to step up. And remember, Orlo's high as a kite right now, so he's going to say, "Boss, I didn't know you long, but yeah, I sure thought you were one of the best fighters I've ever known." And that's it.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else?
I'm messaging or something.
Petra hangs back on the outskirts and watches, and then just kind of meanders away out
Okay.
of the cemetery.
Okay.
All right.
You want this in chat, Isaac, or do you care?
You can say it.
Okay. Yeah. Several, actually. And none of them make any sense to you. These dates are, first of all, they're all very low numbers. Some of these are like 75, year 80, year 85. And the years are reckoned from something called the Rivening, which you have never heard of.
Emma sort of, she starts walking around looking at graves and
Mhm.
looking at the dates, just confused. And she's like, "How old is this graveyard?"
How old is this graveyard?
Yeah.
What are the dates saying?
They're all from very shortly after the Riveting, like year like 75, 80, some in the early 100s, which would place these as at about...
They're about 900 years old.
No, more like 1200.
Or 1200. Sorry, that's right. We talked about the timeline getting altered.
Yep.
So Felix says it's about 1200 years old.
What's the Rivening?
The Rivening was the moment that people started dying. Or wait, is it the Rivening is when people started dying, the Confluence is when magic started to happen?
Nope, the Rivening is both when people became mortal and that magic started.
The Rivening is the moment that mortals started to become, well, what we know is mortal and die, and magic became accessible.
Oh, Shannon, I meant to ask you this earlier.
Yes.
People could still be killed.
Yes, but
Okay.
none of this makes any sense to you.
Okay.
The
What do you?
idea that people were at one point immortal, that's nothing you have ever heard of.
Okay. I'm confused. How did people have always died?
The rivening was when people started having lifespans. So humans started dying around the age of 80s, 90s, elves around the years 300, and everywhere in between.
People have, I don't. The last I remember before I went into the Feywild, it was 1712.
Specifically,
Yeah,
1712 in the third age of Erythnal.
I was about to ask how to pronounce that. I had
Yep.
it down. The age 3 of Erythnal.
Felix, you have never heard of Erythnal in your life.
This makes no sense. That's never been a mode of tracking time in any of the historical records.
What?
Maybe in the Feywild, but here
No, it was here on the material plane.
there's no record of the age of Erythnal.
I don't understand.
Unless you're telling me that you're a child out of time, that age doesn't exist. At least to historical knowledge. Remember, well, wait. No, that does make sense. Time moves differently in the Feywild than the material plane, so you could have left the material plane. You could be over 1,000 years old. Technically.
What? No. I'm 10. Somewhere around there.
Because in the
Maybe
Feywild,
9.
because in the Feywild time moves differently, so your body and mind are that of a 10-year-old because you left when you were younger, but you came back in a different time. You could have knowledge of events that have happened here in Sangamet that no one has recorded. I mean, we didn't realize that the name of the ancient king was Argia Mictus. I remembered it!
Emma.
It's like, yeah, we didn't realize that Argia Mictus was the name of the hero king.
Heard of a place called Sangamet.
I have what?
You have never heard of a place called Sangamet.
Sangamet.
Yes, the continent that we're on.
What was the continent I lived on? Shannon.
You were young, so you probably wouldn't know the name of the continent. The name of the town,
Or city or somewhere,
was Longbridge.
I was in the town of Longbridge before I got pulled into the Feywild.
So then you probably, unless the town of Longbridge was once here in Sangamet and is no longer because of age, you could have been from a different continent. Emma, there's some serious weight to what you're saying.
Where's... And it just sort of dawned, Emma's face she frowns more as it sort of dawns on her that she probably will never find her father.
Well, I'm too high for this shit. I'm gonna go do the thing that Emma does and wander in the woods for an indeterminate amount of time. This has been fun,
We need to.
lady and gents.
We need to get back to Sheridan.
Let's go, Marlowe says.
Emma just looks confused, and she's racking her brain for everything she can remember.
Felix offers Emma his hand to just sort of walk alongside, just kind of like that little kid who's processing a lot, but we need to get moving, kind of like.
She doesn't take his hand, but she does walk beside him.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Is
having
Petra following, or is she still wandering off?
Petra's wandering ahead.
Okay. So the group, having paid their final respects to their fallen compatriot, move ahead. Emma trying to make sense of these incongruous bits of information that she's received. Titus, the rest of the group, joins you at the gates of the cemetery and continues on toward Sheridan. That actually would have happened not too terribly long after leaving the tomb, and then continuing on through the rest of the identification and of the items and the distribution and the discussion that was had and the usage of the pipe of remembrance. And finally, as the light of day is just beginning to lighten the eastern horizon so that the veil of black night fractures into a lightning purple, you catch glimpse of Sheridan in the distance. You would estimate it to be approximately 5-6 a.m. maybe, couple of hours from when Jasper Kuhn had said that the caravan would be leaving. As you re-enter the town on the western end, headed east, as you pass the temple and the infirmary and the Guards Corps keep. What would you like to do?
Felix is going to look over at Xanthion. Xanthion, I'm going to go talk to Jasper. Could you watch Emma?
And your plan's Xanthion, so.
Okay. And Felix is going to head to the stables.
Okay. And what is everybody else doing?
Did you get my message, Shannon?
What did you send it in?
Messenger.
Ah, sorry. No, I did not have Messenger open.
Well, we need to decide where we're sending you shit.
Got it. Yep. No problem.
I'm just walking into town, going toward the stables.
Okay.
Or no, is there a police office, a commissioner's office, a constable office?
That would be the Guards Corps keep, which you had seen here before.
All right. I am going towards the guards, and I'm not being secret about it. Just that's where I'm going to report what's happened.
Okay. Anything anybody else wants to do?
Petra wants to find the nearest house of ill repute, but not the actual one.
Is there a library anywhere?
Isn't there more than one? I can't find it on the map.
So that is the Lamplighter Inn.
Okay.
That is the Resting Post Public House.
Mm-hmm.
6. So 1 is the inn, 5 is the resting post, and 6 is the Grog and Jog Tavern.
Petra will head to the Grog and Jog because that's fun to say.
Okay. So we will start with you, Felix. What are you wanting to do?
Find Jasper.
Easy enough to do. They are in the process of just starting, having roused the caravan drivers are in the process of starting to get the wagons hitched and the horses roused and ready to go.
Jasper? Jasper, you here?
And he comes out of one of the stables. He's like, oh, hello there.
Hello. We're back. Yay.
Yeah. You kind of look like you've been rode hard and put away wet.
Oh my. Buy me a drink sometime. Sorry, that's not like me. We have some things to discuss.
All right.
Foss is dead.
Oh. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that.
However, we have found a substitute and need to know if he will receive payment.
Well,
or if he can receive payment in Foss's place.
well, Foss's payment would be paid upon delivery to Bright Hollow. What you do with that, if you want to give it to this new fellow, is up to you. It's
all right.
You trust him to accompany us?
Trust is a strange word to use, but he's useful and he's pledged his service.
Yeah. Sorry to hear about your friend.
I am too, but it's another topic for another time. How much time do we have before we need to set out?
Oh, most of the drivers are just getting up and around to having breakfast now. I'd say you've probably got an hour or two.
All right, because I need a damn drink. Care to join me at the Lamplighter Inn? It's vacant. And there's free booze.
I appreciate the offer, but I need to be getting things in order here.
I'll bring you a shot. How's that?
It would be appreciated.
Ah, fuck it. I'll bring you the bottle. How's that? Okay, never mind. Bye-bye.
All right, so what is Felix doing now?
Felix is going to go over to the Lamplighter Inn.
Okay.
And try and pour himself a bath.
Got it. So then Titus goes to the Guards Corps Keep.
What time of day is it?
Probably about half an hour before daybreak. 5 a.m., 5:30.
So they're either just arriving or they haven't arrived. Change shift or whatever.
I mean, stands to reason.
So it's one of the two. All right, walking up to the front door.
Okay.
Does it look unlocked or locked?
I mean, you can check it. Just by glance, you can't tell.
Knock and then try the door.
So you knock and then try the door and it opens.
All right. Hello?
Hello? Just a moment.
Is it like a waiting room area or just a...
The area that you enter in looks like an office area, and then there is a door leading off from that into the back, which is what you probably assume is where the holding cells are.
Well, do that uncomfortable wait when you're in a room that isn't welcoming.
Mm-hmm. And you wait for just a couple of moments, and then the door opens, and this very large, burly man in the uniform of a Guards Corps commander enters.
Does he look like he has just done an 8-hour shift or just came in?
He looks like he has probably been working for the last day and a half. He's bags under his eyes, just weary.
I do not say anything. I am in his property. It is his role to speak first. I act submissive.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I believe I'm in the right spot, but it is such an odd hour of the day. I've just come from the west, a graveyard that's abandoned. Do you know of the one I speak of?
Is that the same one that the guy over at the infirmary lost his arm in?
Yes, I have spoken with him. I believe his name began with an S or something.
Yeah, Salome.
Salome, yes. I spoke with Salome a few days ago, and I'll just be honest with you, sir. I got him drunk, and we spoke, and he told me of some vicious things that happened over toward that graveyard, and he ended up going into more detail. I believe the alcohol loosened his lips, and I was after some extra gold, so I went to explore and see this area. As I was doing scribings of the graveyard to trace some of the lineage, I ended up finding tracks that led off from the graveyard. I watched those tracks for a certain amount of time during the day and started getting hungry and decided to turn back. Started becoming dark, and these creatures with no eyes, they're named after your bar, the Grimlock.
That was in Elmswain.
Oh, I was in Elmswain. Oh. Well, in Elmswain, there's a place down there called the Grimlock, and they have one of them hanging from their doorway. They look just like me or you, and they have gray skin and no eyes at all. And I believe you need to get the Alborn here. Whatever is going on magically, they need to know what's happening to this tomb to the west of here. There's some kind of portal opened up to another realm of existence. You need to get the Alborn here. Are they not intertwined in this guard's corpse keep in some way?
Roll me
grabbing him by the coat of arms and looking him straight in the eye and going, "You need to get the Alborn here."
Roll me a persuasion check.
All right.
That's the one that screams. He's just kind of looking at you like, can you tell me where this place is?
Looking around his room, does he have a map of the local area up on?
Yes, he does.
All right. Pulling my dagger out and running over to the map, I jab it into where the map is, the best location I can make. Would that be an intelligence roll or?
Yeah, just give me an intelligence roll just to see how close you get.
Good God. Shit rolls. But I was stuck in there for 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm still thirsty.
You get fairly close. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll make sure that it's taken care of.
Well, if you do not believe me, Speak to the men that are escorting the caravan. They just rescued me from that area.
All right. All right. I'll make sure it gets taken care of, sir. What was your name again?
Oh fuck. Nicholas.
All right. Let me get a little bit more information from you. And he pulls out some paper and a quill and ink pot, and it just goes into the process of getting more details about where this place is, what to be concerned about. All right. Petra. All of the shops in the trade district seem to not be open yet. Everything is boarded up. It is too early for the taverns to be open.
Petra bangs on the door and says, "Hello, paying customer. Rich paying customer here. Looking to get very drunk. I'm very rich. Hello? Some call me the bod mother. Hello? Please? For the love of the gods and all the sea." Petra's just gonna bang on the door.
Okay.
Wake the whole neighborhood.
Got it. So while you are trying to rouse the innkeeper, Felix, you draw yourself a bath.
Yes.
Okay. Easy enough to do. What is Emma doing?
I think I'm going to. This place doesn't have anything like a library, does it?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I think I'm gonna go. Earlier, that this they mentioned a horse that was hurt.
Mhm.
And then
And Atari.
Atari healed it.
Yes.
I'm gonna go in to the stables, and I'm gonna ask which horse that was.
You're gonna hurt the horse again. Sorry.
Re-injure the horse. So yeah. So you are directed to which stable it is that had the
As I walk over to that stable, I'm gonna mutter the incantation for beast speech.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna step around the corner and look at the horse and be like, "Hey,
Hey.
And the
how
horse
are you feeling?"
raises its head up and,
Hi.
like, hey. Does the tilty thing that horses do with their heads.
Emma just kind of chuckles to her. Emma's just gonna try and chuckle to herself and be like, "It's for horses." And are you feeling okay?
Feel a lot better now.
A friend of mine healed you earlier. I just wanted to make sure you were up to walk
That was
again.
your friend?
Yeah.
He was a nice guy. I feel ready to run.
Is it bad that I think of Bob the horse from Chronicles of Narnia, or Philip, or whatever his name was?
I can see that. I can.
You're.
What's your
I'm imagining like a happy Eeyore. My name's Emma.
Emma?
I don't know if you got his, but that was Natari, the guy that healed you.
Atari. That's a funny name.
What's your
Emma.
name?
I don't know. They just usually call me Ya.
You want
It's a horse with
I
no
can try and
name.
give you one.
Okay.
Name it Ed. Name it
it
Ed.
America. Because they made the song "Horse with No Name."
They named me here.
Super cute.
Or do you want to try and come up with your own? You can come up with your own name.
Mr. Ed.
I
Call him Bojack.
call me Oats.
Schmail.
Oh,
I like oats.
I
That
think that's a good
my
name.
name. Do you have any sugar?
Fucking amazing. Name it Sugar instead.
No, he wants to be named Oats. Do I have any sugar? Oh yes, I do have sugar. I have a shit ton of candy.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot the child had all that candy.
I'm gonna take out.
That's
I'm gonna take out
fucking
probably.
amazing. He has so much candy.
Can horses eat candy?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take out probably like some hard candies or something,
Mm-hmm.
and offer them up.
Oh no.
Petra's saying no. You're gonna make the horse sick. Petra knows. Petra knows something you don't know. You need
I'm
to
not
look
giving
at
it
the
a whole
facial
bunch.
table talk. The facial table talk. It says so much. If they're muted, they're still trying to convey something.
And it gobbles up a couple of pieces of candy.
Okay, I'm gonna just. I'm gonna
Those
step
weird-
beside him and just pet him.
Okay. I like you.
And I feel like Xanthion is just standing to the side, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I like you. You're nice. You have any more sugar?
No, I'm all out.
Okay. Got any oats?
Uh,
Got any sugared oats?
does my ration
any
consist of any
grapes?
sort of oats?
No.
Okay. No, I don't. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Is there anything else I could get you?
If you're offering, you could brush me.
All right.
God, no.
I'm gonna brush the
Please.
horse. I'm gonna go up to the stable and I'm gonna ask for a brush.
Then you start brushing Oats, the horse.
Right? That's what Emma's doing.
Felix, you slip into a bath at the Lamplighter Inn.
Get all this blood off my back. Gets worse every time.
The water is exceedingly warm, steaming up around you, and feels incredible after the agony of what you have been through.
I just kind
Yeah.
of slumped down.
Actually, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. Fuddruckers. Come on.
What a great fucking restaurant, though. Can we just talk about Fuddruckers for a second?
I will.
We
always
won't.
About Fud. I will always talk about Fuddruckers.
Sorry, I set my settings back to normal, so
Mhm.
I don't always roll twice. Whichever one you want to take, left or right.
No, we'll take the first one because it is not at disadvantage.
Do you all have a Logan's up there?
Logan's Roadhouse. Yeah.
I prefer Logan.
We have a Logan's?
Yeah, it's in Peoria.
Oh, that's why. There's too much.
I like the idea of being able to eat and just throw it on the fucking floor. I just love the idea of that. Just fucking tear down on a goddamn T-bone.
It's
Toss
like
the
everybody is
goddamn
high
bone.
right now. Like everyone is high.
Well,
Characters
I
and
mean,
players.
it's basically like medieval times. You know,
I
like
love
if you
it.
want that experience.
Anytime I
glad-
hear
Go there.
medieval times, I just think of what was that Jim Carrey movie? Hello, Clarice.
It's probably not the right
I live for the
mentality
land.
to have in the middle of a pandemic, but god damn it, fuck it. That's what I say. Just
Be right back.
fuck it.
I'm gonna embroider that on a pillow. God damn it! Fuck it.
Oh, shit! I just realized there's a kid there.
You messed up,
Jim, you
man.
have to warn us.
I am going mute and turning off my video.
I am ashamed. I
You're
also blame it on
camera
Ben.
cussing at a child, Dad. How dare you?
How dare you, Ben? And you alone.
Wow. Oops. I am not a politically correct person. I do not admit to be socially standard as adequate. I am the voice of fuck it, goddamn reason. It is just what I am. I can't help it. It is just the blood fucking truth of what I suspect is going on in the moment. And at this point, fuck it. I don't care anymore.
I just love how basically it's like one of those moments, and then all of a sudden it's like, we do it live. We do it live.
I am just embracing the chaos. Just at this point of 2020, embrace the goddamn chaos and let's see what survives in the end.
Rip
many
it
of
and
those
grip it,
beers have you
everybody.
had?
Okay. So
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm muting,
Felix.
sorry.
That's all right. Felix, with everything that you have been through, with everything, all of the insanity of the past 24 hours, the heat of the bathwater, and the relaxation is just simply too much, and you feel yourself slip into unconsciousness. Just taking a deep, steam-filled breath, and a rest.
Drown.
No.
Oh, okay.
Constitution saving throw was just to see if he could stay awake.
I was
How did your character die? I drowned.
drowned in a
Oh.
fucking bathtub.
Drowned in a bathtub.
I was about to cry.
I was
So-
really tired and I just fell asleep in a bathtub.
Felix gets a nap in, basically, which we can count as a short rest for him if you want to take a short rest.
Doesn't really do much for me, so
And
I
as
don't think I get anything back on a short rest.
the sleep overcomes you, dreams come with it. Dreams of Foss, dreams of the tomb, dreams of home, dreams of Sorvel, dreams of everything that you've been through. Just flashing scattered images of a mind generated by a mind trying to process the latest in an ongoing series of trauma that has been endured, until the dream shifts on you a little bit, and instead of dreams of past experiences, you dream of more recent experiences, and you dream of the vision that you were given for a brief moment with Estelle, and you dream of the dream that you had upon your arrival in Elmswain. Inception, yeah. And as the dream coalesces around you, as you remember the form, the large blue bald winged form of your sponsor rotating around this floating island in a silver sea, until eventually the rotation stops and you find yourself standing immediately before this being, just the two of you.
My Can't even enjoy a bath? That's a joke. I don't know if you Celestials know that. How can I help you?
I believe that it is more a question of what I can do to help you.
I'm sorry for being a little bit of, well, sassy pants, but the first time in 12 damn years you decide to say that? Oh, sorry. It's a lot of emotion all at once, but what prompted this, if I might ask?
I am sorry.
No, you, clearly last time I saw what you were dealing with, but it's been a lot. Yes, please, let's discuss. This is the Astral Sea. Can I apparate a chair and tables that we can sit down and talk?
What would you speak of?
What? Sorry.
What would you talk about?
This offer. I'm generally caught off guard.
I'm sorry. I am sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. That's my life is a combination of other people and their, pardon my parlance, their bullshit. But yes, any help you can give.
I have given you all of the help that I can.
No.
And will continue.
There's one other thing. I realize it now. Foss is gone. But I can be a fighter. Let me be like you. Grant me a little bit of your power.
He bows his head.
Let's strike a deal.
Be like me.
You've given me power, a personality from my birth till now. With as much charisma as I have, it's great for spells, but terrible for wielding a blade. Let me enter into a compact with you. To serve in your fight, in this life and the next, as a warrior and spellcaster.
You wish to wield a blade.
Let me wield a blade in the name of justice.
And in his right hand appears the blue flaming sword that you had seen once before. And he spins it and brings it and plunges it into the ground before you as it is consumed in a blue radiant flame, feeling the heat washing over you, and a voice not of your sponsor. Child of the light, you tread a dark and winding path, pulling back curtains to reveal secrets hidden for centuries. You have endured burdens that were not just, and bear scars you did nothing to earn. Know your prayers have not gone unheard.
I can only assume that this is Onray. Your grace. Let me serve you. Let me wield a blade in your name. I give you my soul in this life and the next to do your bidding. Allow me to be as an archangel and fall upon the enemies with your radiance at my side.
In a burst of blue flame around the sword, it says, "Will you find whatever is out of balance within your soul and cast it away?"
I will.
Another burst. "Will you forswear the prejudices instilled in you?"
I will.
Bigger. "Will you strive without relent to purify yourself?"
I will.
And just a column of blue flame, so bright that you lose sight of your sponsor standing on the other side. "Will you become the savior you seek?"
I shall.
"You, the seventh, shall be first reborn, quickened and equipped for your commission. This path is not made to walk alone. Open yourself. Let in the light. You shall need it for the darkness ahead." The radiant blue flame of the sword swells, reaching for you, a column of flame bisected, spreading around you as if two arms embracing you, wrapping around you. The warmth is incredible. Not pain, but release. Suddenly, you feel the searing sting of the seal on your back as it engages, reacting to whatever this is that is happening to you.
Yes, Aaron, sassy pants.
Said sassy pants to an archangel.
All right. Suddenly, okay, a moment passes in which you sense this radiant power contemplate in stillness. The voice comes again. "This will not do." The flame pours forth between your shoulders into the seal, into you, overwhelming you, consuming you, claiming you, washing you and the pain away. And that is where we will pick up next session.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right.
Okay.